Dear brothers and sisters, the peace and the joy of the risen Lord be with you. Hope does not disappoint us is the theme of this year's pastoral letter. It is taken from the letter of St. Paul to the Romans, chapter 5, verse 5. Hope is something we all have in our daily life. It is the belief that things will get better someday, especially when life seems hard. Yes, hope has the ability to lift our spirits in difficult times. When we are stressed, hope can reduce our anxiety. When everything seems dark, hope gives us the courage to keep going. It acts like a light in the darkness, helping us to see the path ahead. The best place to find teachings and stories about hope is the Bible. The Bible teaches us that those who place their hope in God will find new strength. Confer Isaiah chapter 40, verse 31. In the New Testament, all hope is centered on Christ. In the first letter of Timothy, chapter 1, verse 1, St. Paul refers to Christ Jesus, who is our hope, directly naming him as the embodiment of hope itself. And St. Peter, in his first letter, states that he, meaning God the Father, has caused us to be born again to a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. First letter of Peter, chapter 1, verse 3. We have a living hope, he says, grounded in the resurrection of Christ. The New Testament consistently presents the resurrection of Christ as the foundation of Christian hope. But much before the resurrection from the dead, Jesus himself left us teachings about hope and showed us how to be signs and witnesses of hope to others. I would like to bring to your mind 3 ways in which we can do that based on the gospel. First, through our life of loving care. In Matthew chapter 8, verses 1 to 4, we find the Lord caring tenderly for the leper. A leper lived in utter hopelessness. He was an untouchable, abandoned even by his closest relatives. He simply had nothing to look forward to or to hope for. Jesus touches the untouchable and heals him. The leper can now hope for a better future. We must go and do likewise, showing our concern and care, particularly for those uncared for and forgotten by society. Second, through our life of joyful service. In the Gospel of Mark, chapter 6, verses 30 to 44, Jesus multiplies a few loaves and fish and feeds the multitude. At the end of the day, they were hungry and weary, and to Jesus they looked like sheep without a shepherd. Filled with compassion for the crowd, the Lord joyfully shares a little basketful of loaves and fish and satisfies 5,000 people. Every time I render joyful service to others, I give myself to be eaten, just like Jesus gives himself for us in the Holy Eucharist. The Lord calls me to be generous in my daily self-giving for others. Third, through our merciful and compassionate attitude. In the Gospel of Luke, chapter 23, verses 39 to 43, Christ's final message on hope is given to the thief crucified by his side on Calvary. Many a time we refuse to be compassionate and kind, even when others beg for our understanding and forgiveness. How distant are we from the Master, whose last action in his earthly life was to give hope to a dying criminal. The Church plays an important role in keeping hope alive, for she also shares in the struggles and joys of every person's life. When people are in distress or feel anxious, the Church stands by them. In this way, it becomes a pillar of hope, supporting those who are suffering or are feeling lost. Confer Gaudium et Spes, Pastoral Constitution of the Church in the Modern World, number 1. On the other hand, the Church teaches us that we are to awaken hope in those who are struggling and less fortunate than we are. And this mission is to be taken up by us in our daily journey, either while walking on our individual paths or together with others. Confer Lumen Gentium, Dogmatic Constitution of the Church, number 1. The Bible, the Church, and Christian tradition all teach us that hope is not just wishful thinking. It is a confident trust in the goodness of God and in the future that He has promised. With this kind of hope, we can face anything life throws at us, knowing that the best is yet to come.